This is Alton Brown's Mooless chocolate pie. It's a chocolate pie that can be made entirely without dairy. And supposedly, it's incredible. And I'll be honest, it looks pretty good. Now, before I dive in and give it a taste test, I want to make my own version of this because I've made something similar in the past. So let me show you how I made this, and then I'll make my version, which is a little higher protein and some easier ingredients. Okay, so let's get moving on Alton Brown's version. First thing that we need to do is make the pie crust. Now, the pie filling calls for chocolate wafers. Couldn't find chocolate wafers, so we're gonna be using chocolate sandwich cookies, which is made with a wafer. Now, I am gonna weigh these out, so that way we have it exactly the way Alton made it. The only thing that is going to be different, which I think is really funny, is he called this the Mooless chocolate pie, I believe. Mooless, I think was his term. But it's not mooless because he uses butter. So it's not mooless. That doesn't make any sense to me. We need 6.5 ounces of wafers. I feel like when I'm done, I can end up making the best giant stuff. Okay, so we're almost at 6.5. There it is, 6.5. Crazy. So the next thing that we're gonna do is toss these wafers into a blender and just blitz them for a second to make them kind of powdery. We'll just toss these back into the bowl, and we need about 3 ounces. Like I said, I'm using vegan butter. Perfect, 3 ounces. Toss this in the microwave for just a little bit. And then he uses a tablespoon of sugar. Now, the recipe calls for the butter to be melted and then slightly chilled again. We're just gonna not melt it all the way through. It's actually gonna be okay if it's a little clumpy too, in my opinion. So we'll just drop this in and then mix together. So at this point, I'm just gonna toss this into my pie tin. Everything looks nice and wet. Form this into the crust. I don't know if you've ever made a pie crust, but this is really as simple as it gets. Normally, the same recipe if you're doing it with graham crackers or vanilla wafers, or I don't typically use the sugar, and a lot of times I do like to add a little pinch of salt. We'll see. I'm gonna save these little tricks for my next version here that I'll show you. Little piece of parchment paper. You can kind of press this in. And I want this crust to kind of come up the sides a little bit. Now, I have my oven preheated for 350 degrees. We're gonna toss the crust in the oven, bake it until it's dry, about 15-20 minutes, which is plenty of time for today's sponsor. So it's already been a couple years now, and people are still asking me about my weight loss. I'm still getting comments from people who are saying, I haven't seen you in years, oh my God. I lost over 110 pounds, and that all started with the help of Noom Weight. Noom Weight is a proven long-term solution to weight management that only takes a few minutes a day. Noom not only gives you the how, but they also give you the why behind your actions to empower you to take control of your health. I say this all the time. Since I started Noom, I've never felt better. I feel like a completely new person. I move more, I'm making better food decisions. I ran 2 marathons this year. I ran over 1,300 miles in total. I never would have imagined this would have been my life before I started Noom. I never dreamed I could be this in shape. Noom promotes sustainable results. It's a different way to approach weight management with the support of individual and/or group coaching, which you can choose if that works for you, along with lessons and being uplifted by other community members. You'll always find ways to feel supported for the ups and downs of your health journey. And all foods are welcome on Noom. I know I sound like a broken record with this. I don't know how to say it any better. Noom literally changed my life. I always thought I was doing the right things. I thought I was moving enough. I thought I was eating healthy enough. I saw other people and I just couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And all of that changed when I found Noom. Completely new outlook on life and mentality and the way I look at health and food. I feel like a new person. It's been completely life-changing. And if you want to feel that too, click the link in the description to take your free Noom evaluation and redeem your free 14-day trial. It's quick, easy, and will help you create a custom plan. Noom, as always, thank you for sponsoring today's video and for changing my life. Now, I will say everything about this recipe uses odd sizes. One of that's going to be 13 ounces of semi-dark chocolate. I got dairy-free semi-dark chocolate. I'm going to have to measure out 13 ounces again. Boom. 13 ounces. I'm doing this in a glass bowl because I'm gonna throw this on a double boiler type of setup. We're just gonna throw a pan with some water on the stove, get the heat up, get it steaming, then we'll throw this bowl on and mix it down while this chocolate melts. Now the rest of the recipe has those same issues. He's asking for 1 pound of tofu. Silken tofu typically comes in 10-ounce packages. So we're gonna end up with half of tofu. Now, I know this might be odd that I'm even complaining about this, but I feel like typically when you write recipes, and try the right recipes for common sizes. Makes things easier for more people. This could have been easily worked out. Okay, we got 16 ounces of silken tofu. We'll set this aside. Now we also need a 1/3 cup of coffee liqueur, a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna bring the tofu back because he's calling for 1 tablespoon of honey, but I'm gonna use a tablespoon of maple syrup. I guess he was definitely not going for a vegan recipe when he created this, because even though he called it mooless, he still used some dairy products, and then he used honey. So I actually don't really know what Alton was going for in this one. Love Alton Brown, but this is an odd recipe. I've just heard how good it was. So at this point, we're gonna bring our blender in, add the tofu maple syrup mixture to the blender, and I'm gonna blend this smooth. Now he still doesn't have any salt in this. Now once the chocolate is really melting, I'm gonna go ahead and pour in my liqueur and vanilla mixtures. Okay, so my chocolate is melted. We're gonna get this spinning on a super low speed. And I'm just gonna start adding in the chocolate, and then we'll just let this kind of spin together for about a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna pull the crust out of the fridge. It's had time to set up, and all we need to do is just pour in the pie filling, which I'll tell you, it seems to be quite a bit. I think this is gonna be a lot more than we needed. Maybe not, we'll see. I think we're gonna stop right there. That looks pretty good. So I'm gonna toss this in the fridge. It needs to rest for about 2 hours to set up. Now, a couple months ago, I made a really simple chocolate ganache using a firm tofu. So I kind of wanna recreate the same thing. I'm gonna do a little bit differences, but I just wanna see maybe some simpler ingredients. Maybe not entirely simpler, but I'm just gonna tweak it a little bit. And then we'll just test it with Monica and see which pie she likes better. Now for my crust, I decided to go with vanilla wafers. I don't think that's gonna make or break the recipe, but I'm kind of just curious to see how the vanilla crust comes out. I've had so many cookies and wafers today, I'm gonna explode. Now I'm just gonna blitz these up really quick. Now instead of butter, I'm gonna be using coconut oil, refined coconut oil, so that way there's no taste. And I'm gonna add a big pinch of salt, tablespoon of sugar, and then drop in our cookies. Let's just give this a mix. Ooh, look at almost a whole cookie right here. So also gonna give this crust just a little sprinkle of vanilla extract. Same thing, let's drop this into the pie crust, spill it everywhere. I'm just gonna make sure this is nice and evenly pressed all the way around. I'm just gonna give this a good, firm press. Boom, perfect, look at that. So this is gonna go in the oven, same thing, bake for about 20 minutes, throw it in the fridge, let it chill down, and then we'll start making our filling. I'm really excited for you to see my filling. Now, the biggest difference is I like to start off with the bars of solid dark chocolate. Personally, I've always had better luck using dark chocolate in these like ganache recipes than semi-sweet chocolate or even like just basic chocolate chips. Now, I'm gonna go for a mix because dark chocolate is usually a heck of a lot more expensive than semi-sweet chips. So I have about 6 ounces dark chocolate here. And this is a salted dark chocolate actually, which I really personally like. And I know Alton used 13 ounces. We're actually gonna be using 16 ounces. Now for the next step, I'm just gonna make 2 shots of espresso. If you don't have an espresso maker, you can make a really dark coffee. Maybe just use a little bit more, but I want the really rich coffee taste, not coffee liqueur taste. Big pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract. So we'll throw this on the double boiler and melt it down. Took the crust out of the oven, threw it in the fridge, let that cool down. So the water is boiling. We're gonna throw our chocolate onto our double boiler and get that melted. While that's melting, I'm gonna take an organic firm tofu. Don't need extra firm, just firm. I'm gonna drain it. Now I'm gonna throw the whole block into my blender along with 4 dates. I love dates. I love the sugar that dates have. I love taste. I love that you're getting some extra fiber. And then start the blend on low speed. You'll see this will get smooth and come together. I use this because this is gonna firm up more. I like the taste a little bit better, but it's gonna end up with a denser ganache. Super, super creamy. This is gonna be perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Chocolate is melted enough. It is thick. Same thing that we did last time. We're just gonna get the blender started on a low, add in the chocolate just a little at a time. This is all blended together. I'm gonna put it on high for about a minute and just let it add some air into it. Boom, that's it. This is nice and hot. Quickly just transfer this over. Ooh, this is thick, much thicker. It's almost like a pudding. And then this is gonna firm up actually pretty hard. Okay, I'm gonna throw this one in the fridge, let it set up. Same thing, couple hours, we'll come back and do a taste test. Okay, baby, are you ready for some pie?
I'm ready. Can't wait.
Let's do this.
Both look amazing.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So we'll start with this one here.
Okay.
Cheers.
Okay.
Oh, I lost the crust.
Very good.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Soft. Kind of like a mousse, you know?
Yeah.
The crust is nice. Very like kind of rich and decadent, but not too
Yeah.
rich, right?
Yeah, not too rich. Everything's kind of mild.
Yeah.
No tofu taste. At all.
Yeah, you wouldn't know this was tofu.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
try this one.
All right.
Definitely denser.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely denser just by like kind
Firmer. Cheers.
This is delicious. Yeah. Even though it was dense and hard to cut through, very nice and soft, you know, melts in your mouth. And I really like the crust. I
Yeah.
kind of like the vanilla and chocolate together. Mixes really well. It kind of gives it like a milky chocolate taste, you
Yeah.
know, like a very like soft, creamy texture. I really like it.
Is there any flavors that you tasted between the two that you can like call out specifically besides chocolate?
No, I mean, I can tell that this is a dark chocolate. I couldn't tell for this one. And then let me see. Let me just take a bite of just the chocolate.
Like you said, you could tell this one's a dark chocolate. It's richer, it's denser. This one with just the chocolate, it's so mild. It's flavorful. I think the coffee brings out the deep chocolate flavors.
I do too.
More than the coffee.
This one actually, when I tasted them side by side, this one actually just tastes more like sugar, like more sweet.
It's just sweet.
Where this one actually has like a depth of flavor.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing. I mean, this one's great. It's for somebody, if you're not like somebody that doesn't like something like super rich, this is phenomenal. The texture is great. Everybody would love this. This is like, everybody would love this. I think this one, more depth of flavor.
And there's the mix of flavor
It's
of the
very-
like chocolate and vanilla, which
Yeah.
is nice. It's not all just like sweet sugary chocolate.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like it's just like a creamier, more buttery consistency.
Here, knock the
Like
vanilla.
it melts in your mouth.
Oh yeah, totally. Knock the vanilla off. I just want to see, like, because I know you're really like talking about the vanilla. But you know, like this one doesn't have any salt. Mine has a lot of salt, so it's.
I have to be honest, this like overpowered the vanilla. The sweetness, how sweet it is now. Like now that I can taste them side by side, this one's way more sweet. But like the vanilla, it just kind of overpowered it.
Yeah. Do you think so?
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I've been saying the whole
Yeah.
time is that like I like the depth of flavor in this one.
I wish Alton would have put some salt in his. And the coffee liqueur is great, but you already have, from the vanilla extract, there's the alcohol in there. So that already helps kind of bring out the flavor. I don't think you need to add any more.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're both delicious, but this is my type of cake pie right here.
I'm gonna try some of the chocolate.
Not to take anything away from Alton Brown. I love him. He's an inspiration to me. But yeah, I want the coffee, the chocolate, the whole deal.
Yeah, I want the flavor. I don't want just sugar.
Well, we're gonna freeze them both and
Yeah.
take them both though.
Yay!
Look at that.
Chocolate!
Chocolate City.
So good.
Don't let your dogs anywhere near this. Okay.
Pumped up today.
I know. Yeah.
Pumped up and hyper.
Sugar high.
Yeah.
Okay, let's roll.
See ya. I really did like yours better.